Cool. You work your magic, Joe. I'm pretty grateful.
Yes. Oh, no, you're great. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, too. Yes, Jimmy, y'all can hear that, right? Y'all hear the music playing in the background? Okay. I'm just making sure they're hearing us. Y'all can hear us and the music. That's what you're supposed to. Well, I haven't cranked the music up. We're just letting Rat in the Cage play. God.
I can hear you. I can't hear any music, though.
Why can't you hear the music? I know why you can't hear the music. Because you can't hear the music and they can't either. Only I can hear. I was jamming out, man. That's because this is what's supposed to be playing. Good thing somebody's doing their job around here, huh? No, what the hell? Okay, people. Now remember, if I play this, get your asses out and vote. I know where each and every one of y'all live. I've done hacked all your IP addresses now. So get your asses out and vote. Or I'm going to send you some funny surprises.
Time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcast. There are 4 amazing shows I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, the longest-running premier awards event in the podcasting space, open to shows worldwide. Vote at podcastawards.com to nominate the following shows. Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. For 4 years, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art.
Oh, that's
by
John.
showing
Yeah,
that
I
it's
know
never
that.
too late
I know
to
that
start,
guy.
and those who make it
He thinks
are
he's
those who
handsome. I
never
tell him all
give
the
up.
time, you know.
News on the flip side, in the category of politics and news. News on the flip
That's
side
our Friday
is a much
night show.
different
That's where we
news
get
and
in
political
real
program, which is not deemed as
Unless
opinion
John
news.
says that we behave ourselves.
Listen as Joe Montaldo brings to you just the facts
Y'all
and
just put
trusted
every
sources,
scary bastard
which
picture
will allow
you can
you,
find of
the
me.
people, to make up your own minds on the various stories being reported on.
UFO Undercover in the
Oh, I
category
forgot to
of
host this show.
entertainment. UFO Undercover brings you some of the most revealing and current research that is being done with respect to alien abductions and
Yes,
contact.
now the government wants me
Host
to
Joe
come work for
Montaldo
them.
has been an abduction researcher for over 35 years and
Ridiculous.
is
No, I'm
uniquely
serious.
qualified
I've
to
been
bring you
offered
live
to be
interviews with some of the
look
most
so
well-known
serious in that
researchers
picture.
in ufology.
You look
The Outer
good, but
Realm,
man, you look
in the
serious.
category of best
Here
female
comes
hosted
my 2
podcast.
favorite females on my
The Outer
network.
Realm is a very popular
Michelle
show
DeRoche,
hosted
the
by
one on the
Michelle
left is my
DeRoche
manager.
and Amelia Pisano, which
I
boasts
love her to
millions
death.
of listeners
And
each
the
week,
one on the
who are
right,
well known for
Amelia
and have been
Pisano.
complimented
She's
on their
very
very
much
laid back,
they're
roundtable
actually
style of
great
interviewing.
And,
Together, this dynamic duo brings you
they'll
the
be
best of
following
the
us
best
tonight, actually.
with guests from around the world who are well versed within their respective fields of ufology, paranormal, esoteric, and other areas of high strangeness and more.
Go to podcastawards.com to vote for these 4 shows and any others you enjoy listening to. That's podcastawards.com.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. See, now y'all all know that was. So usually I just get Emily's voice. On the past years, we just got Emily's voice, which is Emily Goodwin, ladies and gentlemen. But John and Emily were in it together this year. We've had 5 shows up for the last 4 years in a row. I have got honorable mention on both my shows for the last 3 years, and actually last 4 years in a row. And it's killing me, people. I don't like losing. The guy said, we got honorable mention. That's like second place. Like, but what second place? I said, do you ever remember anybody comes in second place? No. I want to win. So people, I'm telling you, I'm serious. Y'all want to hear me moaning, bitch, like I did all last year? Then don't let us win. And I'll be crying and moaning and griping. Y'all know I host 3 different shows, and I guest on a lot of shows around the country and in my own network. So vote. I mean, we made it. We did well. I mean, there was 5 million people voted last year. We did really well. There was 12 people in our category. So, I mean, we did good. We just didn't get that, how many other votes we needed. Don't make me threaten y'all, okay? I do know witchcraft. Do not make me put the voodoo. Actually, I know voodoo. I put the voodoo on your ass.
Yeah, voodoo would be more effective, I think.
Yes. So get out and vote. Or when I go out to the swamp this weekend, well, not this weekend, but a couple weekends from now, I'm going to put the hoodoo voodoo on y'all. We're actually waiting for Larry Elmore. I'm going to send him another invite because I don't know what happened to our good friend Larry. Larry is a very interesting gentleman. Before I even introduce everybody, because we still got to play Rat in the Cage, but Larry's just a very interesting gentleman. He's got some of the best stories I've ever heard. I gotta
Right?
say, man.
I agree.
Him and I sat and got loaded up. Him and I and Tom Wood, by the way, sat and got loaded up.
Nice.
and,
What a
and
time.
and you know I like to talk. And
Mhm.
so does Tom, really. Oh, no, we were quiet the whole night and just let Larry. He's got the best stories I've ever heard, man. They're
Mhm.
just great people. Y'all get to hear some of them. If we get him on, y'all get to hear some of them. Let me email him right quick. Let's see. Let's just do it the easy way.
Should we message him? Like direct message?
Well, Karma's talking to him. Carmen's talking. I keep calling Karma, but Carmen's talking to him because he keeps texting me.
Mhm.
So let's try this one more time. Let's go copy the pretty little link and click, and away we go. I know, Jester, you're not used to when people aren't where they're supposed. I know. Stop it. Why don't y'all go get in the chat room where April can see y'all? Okay, or one of the 8 chat rooms we have. Why don't y'all go get one of them? Well, they like to gang up. Well, this crowd comes with me from way back on Yahoo to Pal Talk, well, Fire Talk, then Pal Talk, and now here. And they like to get on Messenger and message the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's 11 messages open up asking who. I said, we're going to introduce the guest in a few minutes. Calm down. Technically, well, no, I can't edit it out because the promos in it. Well, I can edit the show and put the promo in. Yes, Clara, you'll be able to ask questions in just a few minutes. Yes, April was one of the winners. That's why she's here. She's a lot of fun to talk to. She's an excellent artist, and we'll get all in that in a few minutes. Yes. Okay, let me play this little part of Rat in the Cage, and we'll start talking till Larry comes in. Okay, y'all gonna be nice now, right? Y'all know y'all love this kind of music. I don't know why y'all don't. You know, I've been looking for what I'm looking for this show, and for News on the Flip Side. We've been testing out new intros for the show. So what we do is we find out what we want to put, find a blank spot, and then add the show titles. And we've been testing them out. So this is one of them. It just seems a little. Maybe this should be for a Friday night show, guys. What do y'all think? Let's see. Okay. You get to listen to Joe Montaldo talk for 2 hours. That's what you get, people. Oh, yeah, I like this. It might work. No, you know, we only do 20, 30 seconds, 40 seconds of it, because if we don't, YouTube has a heart attack. Anyway, they're just finicky these days. Technically, we're live now. We've just been playing around. We have April Solomon with us, and hopefully we'll have Larry Elmore in a little while. I just sent him another link, and he's working with Carmen to work it out. So hopefully we'll have him in a little while. And because Larry's a lot of fun. April's a lot of fun too. Don't get me wrong. At least she hung out with the big dogs. Not
right.
Scary people. We're not gonna mention no names, but there were some scary people this year. And it's no. There was only so the judges. Well, you know what? Stop. Let's do this correctly. April, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Joe.
Why don't you tell the audience just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into the fun stuff.
Sure. So I've been an illustrator now professionally, truly professionally now for about 1.5 years. And so I recently went to the Laguna College of Art and Design. I took a 7-year term there, getting my bachelor's degree in illustration. And during that time, I definitely kind of cherry-picked my own courses and felt my way through the fine art department, but came out of that college with a degree in illustration. And more or less my entire human career has been evolved around creating and learning how to become just a better artist in general, and surrounding myself within a very, very heavily saturated artistic community. And this is really just my bread and butter for existing. I really don't know what I'd do if I couldn't draw or paint. And I certainly don't know what I could do if I couldn't find a way to support myself professionally. But my love and passion evolves around painting and drawing traditionally, mostly dragons, I'm
Yeah,
what
she
you call
likes
a dragon
dragons.
specialist.
She
Oh
likes
yeah,
dragons.
love dragons,
Must be
love
watching
werewolves,
Larry too
love.
much. That's what that is.
Yeah,
No, she's
it's
good.
a love of mine.
You'll see later on in this book right here. You'll see later on her picture for this year's in here. Oh no, this is the one. This is one for the story actually, right? The reveal.
Yeah.
So that's y'all will get to see it in a little while. No, it's autograph too. It's what do you mean? I like getting all my books autographed. So, look, I'm notorious for getting families to autograph books. Oh yeah, a lot of these books you see up here, a lot of the winners, there's actually autographs from different family members. It depends. Like after the gala, a lot of times I'll be hanging around, sitting outside working press. So as the members are coming back, because the writers and illustrators are busy signing and selling, so they're busy. So, but a lot of times the families are milling around and stuff. So I'll catch up with them and talk to them about their children. When I say children, I don't mean like they're being child. I mean when they're children. Oh, anyway, that came out completely wrong. Oh wait, I see the great man down here.
Huh?
Oh, look at this sexy bastard. Oh man, what are you doing? We love you, man.
I've been trying
Hey,
to
Larry.
get on 15 minutes.
Oh, we were gonna wait for you no matter what. So you didn't. I told Carmen, don't tell him, don't even rush yourself.
I'm old and I'm not a computer genius anymore.
Don't feel bad.
I had to call a friend up in Atlanta to get me hooked up to get me on, and I think he was having a homecoming or something. And
Oh
so
shit! Well, hey, you're here, so you look good. So next time you'll know how to get in. It's we switched over this a couple of years ago. We used to use the phone lines we used just phone lines forever.
Okay.
But the audio quality was never as good as we was on Skype, and then Skype is just not as good as this. Plus, I get to see everybody's lovely face, and which sometimes can be scary. In case y'all didn't notice, ladies, these two are good looking, but sometimes we get some scary ones come on. The guy Tom Wood, he's kind of scary looking, and I just gotta say, he's got. What's that, Jack? Oh no! So this is the Larry I was talking about. No, you think of Larry Niven. No, this is Larry Elmore. This is the one I was talking about. Yes.
I know Larry Niven.
Yeah. So Larry.
I've met him 2 or 3 times. That's all.
Yeah, I've met him 3 or 4 times. So last year, not this past 39, but 38, I was his escort. Don't ask. Just leave it alone and don't ask. The year before that, he thought I was like the ninja come to kill him. I'm not kidding you. He was scared shitless of me. Every time I'd walk up to him, he'd go somewhere else. Or he'd get somebody, put him in front of us or between. So I'm like, I'm not here to eat you, nothing, dude. Calm down. Calm down. But then for book 38, at the gala, I was just kind of walking around with him. They just had me chaperoning him, I guess. But he was a lot of fun to talk to. He's got a lot of interesting stories. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the infamous Larry Elmore. And this is the guy I was talking about, all the great stories he tells us. And I'm telling you.
I've been burning tree limbs piled up. So
oh shit!
Was that my wife got me out there, and I didn't know what time it was. I'd forgot all about this. And
yeah, well, it happens. Well, I was a little worried today because I've been out. My company. We were putting up some electrical. I'm not even going to say where, but anyway, we're putting up some new lighting for a company that we work for, and so this morning driving into New Orleans because I live out on the Gulf Coast. There was a big nasty wreck. I'm pretty sure one of the rigs, the drivers got killed. And
wow.
And then it was 8 miles in each direction. So it took 3 hours to get onto interstate, which was just a joy. I get in New Orleans, get everything done, all kind of crazy shit going on. I'm driving home this afternoon, and all of a sudden I see this black smoke bellowing over interstate. There's a car on the side of interstate just burning.
God.
Just and it takes like an hour to get through the traffic to get to the part of the interstate where I can get home. I was like, okay. Maybe I should just, if I didn't have jobs scheduled for the week, I'd take the rest of the week off, man. I told Michelle she got to get on it, so all I got to do is radio anymore. Because during COVID, that's all I had to do was radio. I loved it. It's and we were making good money, but COVID was a weird kind of thing that went on. Not just because of disease, but there's a lot of other stuff. So Larry, man, say hi to the audience and tell the audience just a little bit about yourself. We don't want to give you away because we're going to talk tonight, but. Just, kind of tell them, hi, I'm Larry, and wherever you want to go.
Okay. I'm Larry. I don't know where we're going, but we're going any direction you want to. I've been an illustrator for since 1972. So that's before most of them, I guess.
Yes.
I worked
not before me, but.
My first job, I was working at Fort Knox, Kentucky, which is about 45 miles from me. And when I got drafted in the Army, instead of going straight to Vietnam, I spent my first year at Fort Knox. And I guess they saw in my papers that I had an art degree, so I worked in a printing plant. I learned all about publishing, and I was illustrating Army manuals. That was a lot of fun. And then my second year in the Army, I was sent to Germany, and I love that because castles. I photographed castles and old villages.
Yes,
And
it's beautiful there.
the thing about Fort Knox, I'm one of the few people you'll ever meet that's been inside the gold vault. And
I wish I could say that.
Nobody's in there. I did a backdoor job for them, and they couldn't pay me or couldn't do anything. It had some art stuff, and so my boss and I and a couple more that worked on the job, they took us like a week apart, only two at one time, and that was it. And there's the guy that was doing the tour, and a guy with a pistol as his holster unbuttoned, always about 5 feet away from us all the time. So
I know. Just do something, buddy. Just do something.
he just died to shoot, you know.
Oh yeah.
But no, that was a sort of a once in a lifetime experience. I mean, that's crazy. But
that's a crazy experience. I mean, I would love to be able to say I hung out.
I saw bars and bars of gold. So
Wow.
at that time, they also had the Polish crown jewels there for protection. I saw those. A lot of other stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you, Samantha. Samantha just sent me videos of April. Well, that's so sweet. You gotta love online. People are just so nice sometimes, and sometimes they're just whacking crazy, is what they are. But hey, I'm not. You know, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm judging, but still.
From there, I got a job I started freelancing some, got some work heavy metal, National Lampoon. Then TSR called me up. Dungeons and Dragons wanted to hire me. I said no 3 times. They flew down to my house, the president of the company, made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So I took off to Wisconsin, the cold north. And to me, it was like going to Alaska. But I lived there for 7 years, worked for them. And then Keith Parks and I went freelance from TSR. We stayed in Lake Geneva a year or so. And then I moved out to Kentucky, built a house, and been here ever since. Moved back to Kentucky in like 89, 90, something like that. 89, they built the house.
That's about when I was up there planting tobacco.
Yeah. I worked bad job, hard job.
I had a friend of mine up there owned a big plantation. I'd come up in the summer sometimes. He's like, "Here, just sit here. Just all you gotta do is sit here and stick them in the thing." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, just sit here." So I'd be, "What am I doing?" So I'd just be taking little plants and dropping them in little things and watching them go into the ground. I'm like, "Okay, well."
There's a big wheel, and it would hold the plant and stick it in the ground.
Yeah.
Just keep rotating.
And they had a seat on each side. So one of my friends was sitting over there. We'd be talking the whole entire time, and just planting plants. And then it was so funny because I'd come up there and just say, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Look, I wasn't doing nothing. He needed the help." And so he called me up one day. He goes, "Oh, I'm sending you some stuff. I get like 50 cases of tobacco and cigarettes and special blend cigars." So I'm like, "Dude, what do you want me to do? You know, I don't smoke that much." I'm like, "Give me a freaking break. You're trying to kill me?" He said, No. He said, "You give it to your friends." He said, "There's something. Look in the little box. There's something for you." Somebody sent me a check for $15,000. I'm like,
"Wow,
plant tobacco." He said, "Well, donate it to somebody." He said, "I know you're gonna bitch about it." I'm like,
I would work all day long. I would work in tobacco till it got too dry. Then I started hauling hay. They liked the dark for $5 a day. That was it. That was
yeah.
Wow.
He told me, I think he told me he paid his guys like it was either 25 cents or 50 cents a plant. And, I'm like, "How much money you make off of one plant? Somebody am I in the wrong line of work or something here?"
We had 500, 600, 700 plants in a day, depending on how big the base is.
That's what I'm saying. And they did. I mean, he had a big, huge place up there. I bet you last time I heard him, he told me he was switching to growing marijuana. There was more money in it.
Well,
he's like, I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He said
here in Kentucky has started doing that too.
Yeah. He's got he's got 2 different plots. He's got one that's 18,000 acres, and he's got one that's 12,000 acres. He inherited this. This comes back from way back, like 150 years ago. This is all family land they've had forever, and they let it sit. I think they had farmed it out, and they just let it sit for like a decade.
They don't sound like plantations. They don't sound like farms.
Yeah, well, that he calls it a farm. I call it a freaking it's a mini state is what it is, man. A little township. That's even better because basically between the two plots is basically a town. He's got all kind of equipment there. They got a little store there. They got a little bar there. They got all kind of other little stuff. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. He said, it's technically it's my own little town because it's on his land, and because a highway passes right through the middle of it. And I'm like, oh well, if that's what you want to do.
Is he a king?
He thinks he's a king. I don't think his wife thinks that, but he thinks he is.
Yeah.
He's
big head. My wife is shooting.
Yeah, well, I've always been the poor one in the bunch, so I've got a lot of wealthy friends, but I've always been the poor one in the bunch. The only one's got any sense in his head too, because the rest of them are crazy, man. They're crazy.
I swear, I just made a living up until maybe the last 10 years of my life. Not even that much. Everything started paying off, and what's paid off for me the most is when everybody was going computers art. I told my wife, I said, well, I just released a big art book, and it was a Kickstarter, and it made like $300,000.
That's nice.
By the time you pay off the money and pay the taxes, we had about $100,000 left. And I put that in the bank, and I said, we got to be careful because we're going to have hard times. She said, why hard times? I am everybody's going computer art. I said, I'm not going computer. I'm going to keep doing it the old-fashioned way. She said, why? I said, I don't want to do it on computer for one thing, and I think everybody's going computer. I'm going to stay original. All these kids that play D&D now, I was 20 years older than them or more when it started up. And I said, now they were the smart kids. At that time, they were the real brainy kids. And I said, they're going to have good jobs and make a lot of money, and they want to hang original art in their house.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big gamble. I said, I'm going to take it.
No, look, I'm easy because I've talked to April about this. But matter of fact, I was talking with Echo about this last Friday. We talk about both of y'all, matter of fact, because we were talking about dragons. Yeah. Well, we do. When Echo comes on my show, we do half of her regular art and her commercial stuff, and we do what I call her dirty art.
Yeah.
We'll just say risque art and leave it at that. But she's a painter, and I like real painters that paint in oil. It's a thing for me. I don't how to explain it, but it's always been one of those things. I've just, maybe because of the way I grew up or the families I grew up in or some of the people we've hang out with, they have really nice art, and a lot of it's just, and there's something about feeling an oil painting. That's just old school. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-computer art or anything because I use it a lot all over my websites and everywhere else. But I like that. And we were talking about that, and then we were talking about people who could paint dragons in oil. Y'all's two names came up right off the bat. It was funny as hell. And some girl writes in, and she says, she goes, "Well, I've heard y'all talk about Larry. Don't you like dragons?" I said, yeah. And he said, I seen that video with that young lady April, and I said, okay, what about her? Well, she likes dragons too. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, they both paint dragons. I was like. Some people can pay. And let me tell y'all something. I've seen a lot of dragons in my 100 years on the planet. And there's some good dragons, and there's some people should never paint a dragon as long as they live. Just leave it alone. Move on. Go paint something else. Leave the dragon alone now.
Dragons have gotten bigger over the years, bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean talking about the size of them. Now they're big as cities almost,
Mm-hmm.
D&D, you get a smaller dragon and you get a pretty good fighters, and you can beat one. Of course, probably everybody's half dead when it's over with, but you could kill one. Nowadays, monster dragons come in. It's like you need to call the Army and the Air Force.
Oh shit! Call the Marines, man. We got a problem here. Well, no, you just call Harry Potter. That's all. See, we just circumvent that all the way around. It's Justin.
Wrong way.
Oh, actually, I got both their websites, so we're going to go over them in a few minutes. Yeah. We were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot who I was talking. I think I was talking with Tom, and he was on for something else we were doing, and your name came up. We were talking, and he said, yeah. He says, the first time I've ever seen Joe quiet before. He said, Larry was telling stories. I was like, Tom, you was pretty quiet yourself, buddy. But no, that's a night we were up. We were at the Roosevelt night. We were in your room on the balcony talking. I forgot the little guy's name who was with us, who ended up getting a job with Tom on and off. But that was some of the great stories.
Oh, Dan. You mean Dan, right?
That's Dan. Yeah. And he just didn't even know how to deal with himself getting to hang out with you and Tom Wood. He was just stunned that he was even in the same room with you. And I noticed he liked to push himself away a little bit, like we might forget that he was there. Oh, he was freaking funny as hell.
My wife fussed at me all the time. She said, "You never met a stranger. She said, you treat people." I said, "Well, I actually have before." Okay. I like people. I enjoy people and talking to them, and
that's one of my faults.
I like fantasy too, and I got fantasy. When I was in college, I was majoring in art. I started doing a bit of fantasy, and my teachers just hung their head like he's gone nuts. There wasn't no such thing as fantasy, really. And I was in the '60s, and Frazetta's first Conan cover came out. I saw it, and I went crazy. Like, that's the direction I want to go in. I've been in the whole time long. I'd never seen it actually done. And so I started doing barbarians and long ships, and my teachers, instructors thought I'd gone nuts. And I thought straight and narrow and do abstract. I told myself I'm never going to do abstract. I'm sorry. And so I must have done something right, because they had lined me up for a scholarship at Pratt to get a master's degree. All scholarship. And I said, "Well, that's good, but it's not going to happen. Why not?" I said, "I finish up at my college. I get my bachelor's degree in the last of November, and I said, I'm probably going to be drafted in January." I was. So
no shit.
Forget about MBA. So, but it done me good. I learned a lot, and then I'm glad I was in the Army. And then went back and worked at Fort Knox, another illustrator. Was around military a lot. General. I remember one time when the general would walk into our office or somebody high up, there would always be one or two military with the illustrators, and they'd holler, "That's when an officer came in. Everybody'd stand. The civilians didn't have to, but we did. A lot of us was ex-military. And the guy walks in. I'm looking at his name tag. He was a general on it. I said, "General Patton's dead, but here's a General Patton." And I found out later it was his son. His son was a general also. And he stopped by my desk. All things. This is a good little story. I'll make it quick. He stopped my desk to see what I'm working on. I was doing a job for Chaplin about birth control, and it was showing the private parts of male and female. And I was just working on this on my board. It was like if you laid on the floor and a woman stood over top of you naked, and that's what you were seeing. Okay. So he said, "What's working on?" He looked down. He's like, he just sort of froze. I'm like, "Oh no!" I was embarrassed. I'm not doing this for the fun of it. This is a job. This is a chaplain. Good work, son. Keep up the story.
No, I don't know, man. The world has changed.
That's hysterical.
So instead of doing the military job, this kid's drawing porn. Fire his ass.
Oh shit. Well, obviously, along the line, you learned a lot of great talents, a lot of great stories, a lot of great talents. Yeah. And still, I've been trying to draw for umpteen million years. I still can't draw. So somebody said you haven't gotten any better. I think I've actually got worse.
I'll tell you. Yeah. I'll tell you the trick. The trick is when you're in school for 12 years, you don't pay attention to anything they say. You draw on all your math book pages, you draw on all your social study homework, you draw on your desk, you draw on all your homework. Just don't pay attention to a word that the teachers say for 12 years, and you'll get pretty good.
If you have any children
that was my training.
18, please.
When I was in college, I'd have a test coming up, right? I'd get my notebook out. I had a notebook for every class, Get my notebook out to study my notes. I'd open it up. There's a drawing of a pretty girl. I turn next page. There's a girl. That's when miniskirts just came in, right? There's a nude. They were short. And there's the girl I remember sat 2 aisles over with a miniskirt. I'd have a drawing where legs crossed. No drawing. I had no notes. Like, oh my God, I gotta go by notes.
Those are your notes.
Yeah. Oh man, slid through.
Well, I didn't have, I mean, you're one step ahead of me, Larry. I didn't have any notebooks. I just had bunches of paper that I would just sketch on, or I draw on my table, and I kept drawing on my table, and my teacher finally just said, "You gotta stop drawing on your table. You're supposed to write, you're supposed to do your homework on the paper that's on top of your table. Stop drawing on your table. And stop drawing dragons." For years, stop drawing dragons, pay attention. Why can't you pay attention? And I'd be drawing while they
You should have put a dragon up on the chalkboard, and you might have looked at the board for a while while you were making the dragon. You know.
Yeah. There was no dragon. I'd never drawn a dragon. And the first time I saw a dragon painted was not presented for it, was Hildebrand. They did Lord of the Rings. They do the dragon and painted that. And I'm like, wow, pretty cool. Then when I got to TSR, right off the bat, I mean, Dungeons and Dragons, I just started drawing. I looked at the old monster manual. I didn't like a dragon in there. They was really crude. That's the old. And so I thought, okay, it had pictures. This is what a black dragon looks like, a red dragon, a white dragon. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a different twist. If it's a red dragon, it can look all kinds of ways, but it's red. That makes it a red dragon. If it's a blue dragon, it can be different types of blue dragons, but it's blue. So that I drew one. Usually it's a new dragon, but I just give it the color it's supposed to be. And so it was fun that way. Playing around, you draw different dragons. But I've never drawn a dragon because it really wasn't into fantasy that much. Now, when I read Lord of the Rings when I was in college, and I
read it when I was in the service,
and there was just one dragon in there, you know. But that was it. And then, like I said, when I started working at TSR, it's when dragons were very important. You know, said it in the title.
Well, I mean, you know my story. I mean, but the listeners don't. You know, when I was a child, you know, like 6 years old, I'd be looking at your work, Larry, and just so inspired by everything you did, and never ever imagining my dizziest daydreams that I'd actually get to finally meet you. And easy. You know, just your dragons helped shape my whole world. Well, so
I would paint them as I went. I was just on the wing, on the fly. I gotta do that.
Well, you know, I was at LSU a couple of weeks ago giving a political lecture. Yes, I do lots of things, people, before y'all start in on me. But I was giving a political lecture, and people always ask me about Writers of the Future. It's always a thing that comes up no matter what. Yeah. I guess because I've been working with them now for 4 years, so it comes up a lot. So
they're good people.
So this young girl comes up, she said, "You're so lucky you get to work with Larry." And she goes, "You know, I really like that girl, April." I'm like, "Wow, you really paying attention." She goes through the list. She knows everybody, man. I'm like, kind of scared me a little. So, were you a stalker? I just really, she's an artist herself. But so the teachers in there talking to me, and all of a sudden they all started asking me questions. I'm like, I'm not an artist and I'm not an author. I said, y'all can ask me certain questions. I said, but I'm going to tell you, it's go to writersofthefuture.com or galaxypress.com. I said, or you know, I actually had a couple of copies of book 39 with me. I said, or, you know, you can go get the new book. And the girl's like, well, you're just so lucky. She said, I would die to hang out with these people. She said, you don't even care, do you? I said, I'm not an artist. I said, I'm learning a lot. Don't get me wrong. I said, Larry, and I mentioned Larry and Tom and Echo and DeSantis because y'all all have great stories and you know, really know y'all stuff. And there was like 8 people in the class going, I don't even want to see you anymore. I'm like, did I upset you politically? No. You're just hanging out with the greats, and I'm like, nah. I was like, no, I'm not. I work with these people. It's all I do, people. Good, Larry.
I've never thought of myself as a great artist. I have.
A lot of people do.
And I tell you what, I never even thought my art was very good. I was always, what kept me going was maybe the next one would be a good one.
All right.
Good one before I died. And then this last year, I got to looking at, I haven't done a painting since last September. I've been working around the studio, doing other stuff, getting caught up on life a little bit. I started new a week ago. But I started looking around at my paintings, and I thought, well, you know, I did a few good ones over the past million years. That was one of the first paintings I did at TSR within the first year I was working there. And they said, do a frost giant. I'm like, I don't know what it looks like. And I was always getting the monster manual. I had to look them up. I'd only played D&D once, and I was at Fort Knox before they hired me. The guy there started the game. And then I'm like, this is the most fantastic game I've ever played in my life. I like it. Never seen a game like this. They said, well, there's no video. Like, and then I did a cover for Dragon magazine. Not a cover. It was doing a calendar somebody told me about. And they sent some of my stuff in. And they said, yeah, they'd like for me to do one of the dragons in the magazine. That's the first dragon I ever painted. And so I looked at the monster manual. My friend, he played D&D. I looked at it. Didn't like many. I liked the white dragon more than any. It looked more like a dragon. And so I painted a white dragon. And I just saw a picture of it the other day. It's pretty sad. But for some reason, they would have hired me off of that one friggin' painting. And then they asked for my portfolio. And when they saw that, then it was all mostly fantasy. But I hadn't painted but one dragon in my life. And
well, Jennifer, no, I'm actually on Larry's site. There's a storefront. I'm actually in a store right now. Yeah, so y'all can go purchase these. Yes, you can. I'm just looking because I love this little mirror thing. I mean, this little microscope thing. This thing is great. I'm just having a ball with this thing.
My buddy, we got.
Hey, baby, what's happening there? Oh, let's move on.
We got my site. He was a friend of mine, but he's also a computer genius. He worked for like 7 companies at home, and he started running my site. He built the site. He runs Jeff Easley's website too. Jeff didn't have a website, and so he runs our 2 websites plus all his other work. I'll say he does. And I couldn't get on here tonight. I had to get James to come on my computer and get me on.
Yeah, see, that's good. I see. Once it's usually set up in your system, though, it'll remember automatically most of the time. Yeah. Most of the time. What is that, Janine? Actually, no. I'm on. You see where it says view card under there. You see it right there on the screen. You can see it. I'm just going through his work. This is this work he had posted because I got one of April's sites posted. I'm gonna go through hers in a little while too. But this is just. What do you mean? You want me to draw something?
See this guy right here on the left with the dragon with the hammer on it? Yeah, this guy. Yeah, go to him. No, on the other side.
Oh, on this side. Okay.
Oh, no, back over the other side.
Oh, this side. All right, we got you.
That's Keith Parkinson.
Is it?
Oh, no way. Oh, that's cool.
He went to work at TSR when he was like 21 or 22. And he started, and we were all older than him, and he started learning so quick it would scare you. He would have been, was a great artist. He would have, he'd been a better artist than any of us. He absorbed everything like a sponge. He was very intelligent, but he's dead. He died at 34.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, that's a baby there.
It's really tragic.
Yeah.
Because the paintings he was producing was like next level stuff, and Lord knows what he would have been doing today.
I know, he was so young. His weakest thing was anatomy. And I would help him. When we quit TSR, we stayed in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and we freelance. We got a studio, just him and I. And Bill Willingham joined us later. But Keith and I, and Keith was a natural colorist. I mean, he could see color. He would paint with colors. I don't know how he's seen them. I don't know how he did it. That was his strength. My strength was drawing. Color was not my strength. So me working with him for the years at TSR and then sharing studio with him, I got to really pick his brain on color. And I had to learn to see color, what was really there, not let your brain take over. Oh, that's red. But that's the green, but it's not green. Look at it closely. It is a pale, washed out, dirty. Well, I call them non-colors. He learned me to see non-colors. I tried to see everything in a color that I could name. Like I said, my drawing skills were stronger than anything. But then when I started working in color, I kept thinking of, like, I had a crayon box with 10 colors in it. And that was it. Keith had a crayon box box with 250,000 colors. And I'm like, how do you see that? And he said, I don't know, you just got to learn to look at what you see, learn to see.
Mm.
And I'd always tell people when they want to draw, I said, learn to see what you're drawing. Well, dumbass me, I just had to learn to see the colors that was there. Don't name them. They have no names. They're colors. What does it take to mix that color? Not what color is it? And once I got my brain going in the right direction, my colors really started popping more. I started working more, not popping. Most of my colors, even at TSR, were pretty bright or gaudy colors. Now, these paintings, some of these were painted after Keith came in, and I started learning from him. And we used to, after work, lots of times, well, you could work at all hours there, but he and I stayed up a lot. And I would teach him. We'd get over to his desk, and I would teach him anatomy and teach him drawing. And then I would have him pick apart the painting I was working on, and he'd talk to me about color. And so we both taught each other a lot.
Mm.
All right, Smiley. We're going to call this guy Smiley. It's, we're just giving him a new name. What is that, Denise? Oh, no, those are watermarks, you see, so that you can't copy the picture and use them.
Yeah, those are
watermarks. No, that's what it is. That's what it's there for. Yeah, I have it in a lot of our stuff. Oh, yeah, because, people. No, what are you talking about?
Steal.
No, yeah, people do steal. And actually, we'll talk about that maybe a little bit. But, last week when we've talked about it. Let's see, Jeff Weiner was on with us talking about it. Tom Wood talked a little bit about it. And Echo talked a little bit about AI art. And right now, I'm anti-AI art. So I'm just being upfront about it. Maybe when somebody figures out how to keep everybody safe from it, then I'll be okay with it.
It's here. We're done.
Oh, it's here. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. It's here. But as long as you can't copyright it, it's not costing anybody any money.
The people that paints by hand, that does actual artwork, we're screwed. I mean, you don't have to be an artist anymore. I mean, people would just pick up an iPhone, and this has happened to me 2 or 3 times. They sort of show me in life, and they said, whatever they say, Siri or whatever is on the phone, paint me a dragon in the style of Larry Elmore. And then in a minute, less than a minute, there'll be 6 paintings show up, full-color paintings. They looked a little bit like my style, but I think they're original paintings. I mean, it just made these things, I think.
Yeah, Congress is talking about this because right now you can't copyright anything AI. So that's why companies don't want to use it, because they don't own it. So in other words, somebody could make a picture like this from an AI, and then I could use it. Anybody could use it.
Yeah.
So they don't want that because they don't own it and they can't make any money off of it. So, and right now nobody wants to give AI any kind of copyrights. I mean, eventually some company will make its own software, and then the trouble will start. But they're still going to need artists, because let's be honest, a pencil pusher doesn't have the imagination for what you're going to need to turn out true art. You can tell the computer all day long, and he's going to look at it and think it's okay, but when other people see it, they're going to be, because a good friend of mine, Jason, the other day did one. He said he wanted what did he want? He wanted a dingo fighting kangaroo. He got a 6-legged dingo with 4 eyes and a 3-legged kangaroo with an arm right in the middle. The reason why is because, one, there's too much stuff for them to choose for now. When it was just minimized but now it has the whole World Web to choose from, and it's confusing. I've seen this a few times now. It's actually confusing itself.
It's going to get better and better.
And right now, it's overthinking itself. So, but it is going to get better and better. I mean, I had Jeff Weiner do me a banner. I said, I forgot what I told him I wanted. The freaking thing was fabulous. I'm not even going to lie. But I don't own it. I mean, I could use it on my website, but I don't want to do it because if I don't own it, and we build the brand on it, and people get to know it, and then somebody else decides they want to use it, there's nothing I can do about it. No. I'm just so I'm kind of like I like to stick to. I mean, we have people we work with that do art for us, and then I can't draw, but I can put banners together all day long. I know how to do that now. Don't get me wrong. I can put art together. I can't create art myself. And not in the sense that y'all two do it.
Well, you sort of bring up something like what's good, though. At least a lot of people I've found out that's got a lot of money, they like to have original art in their house.
Yes, they do.
And so what it's going
Yep.
to, if you're a good original artist, they're going to buy this. They'll buy your art, and you can make prints, copyright prints, and sell. And so you can still make a living, but I quit doing commercial art probably in 2023 because the paperback books and stuff was getting more and more stupid, and the art I had to do for the covers, I didn't think I could even sell them. Just stupid subject matter. And so I quit. And I said, well, I just started taking on contract art. People call me up, would I do a painting? Well, I got booked up for like 2 years off the bat, and I was only charging like $4,000 a painting, and I thought that was a lot. And and so and I painted big paintings, a lot of them close to 30 by 40s. And so I got booked up so much, I raised them to 10,000. I raised them to 15,000.
Nice.
Finally went to 20,000. That was 2 years ago. It's going on the second year. And I got booked up for a year solid. And I thought, I don't feel right charging more. I felt guilty. And I'm quitting. I'm quitting painting, paintings for other people. I'm 74. I will be 75 in August. I'm 74 years old, and how many paintings I've done just for myself? Maybe a handful. I'm running out of time, so I'm not doing any more commercial work, not for a private contract. I'm just going to paint for myself on out, coast on out, and do a few. Before I get too old, your eyes too bad, and your hand shaky or something. Right now, my hand is steady as always was, and I can still paint okay.
As new technology comes along, you might not even have to worry about that. Just recently, let me move and get this down up for a second. Just recently, they came out and said that within 8 years, they're going to stop the aging gene. Okay, well, I said, well, I'm kind of old. That's not going to help me that much. So then the guy comes on and he said, well, it's not just that. He said, by stopping the aging gene, he said, we have therapies that can actually bring you back like 30, 35 years. I'm like, really? So that might be worth the bullshit. But
overpopulated. We'll all be living elbow to elbow.
They'd have to put rules on that. They'd have to instantly put rules on it. And I said this to a friend of mine the other day. He said, well, you wouldn't like being 35 again? I said, nope. He said, Joe, you were great at that. I said, I love 35. I had a lot of fun. But I said, the age, I am really happy at the age I am right now. I'm comfortable. My brain works better.
60 was a good age. You were mature. You learn a lot. And I could still do everything. Well, I still can do almost everything. But
I've been enjoying life so far. 30s was okay. 40s was good. 50s has been great. 60s is going to be great because I know where I'm going when I'm going into it. So I'm comfortable where I am in life, which is, I can't say that for most people. April looks like she's about to smack both of us, man. I don't know. I'm just teasing. So wait, you know what? Yeah, hold on, Gina. I'm gonna put some of hers up right now. Hold on, give me 1 second.
I love it. I mean, I just turned 40, and
you're a baby, man. Oh my
god! And I'm so thrilled. Like I wasn't like I don't want to be upset about getting older. I want to be excited because I know there's a new chapter that's on the horizon for me. And 20s were, horrible. Because I made it horrible, and 30s were great, but 40s are awesome.
40s are going to be great.
I worked myself to death through my 40s and 50s and 60s, and I missed out a lot on life. I guess what I compensated for, because I always liked motorcycles and hot cars, hot rods. I started young, and all my life just ever since I got out of the Army, I've had a motorcycle, and I keep trading.
I did too until recently.
Keep trading up, and finally at 70 years old, I sold my last motorcycle. It was a big Harley. It was beautiful, chopped and everything. And I still got 3 hot rods in the garage, and
nice.
And one of them was a 1934 Ford Coupe. That means it's got the little top and trunk. It's open wheels. An open engine, and the engine's got 750 horsepower.
Oh yeah, we want to travel.
That's what I'm talking about.
It will scare you. It'll scare you.
Whoops.
You've earned it, Larry.
Yeah,
you paid your dues. You've earned it.
Took a kid for a ride in it day before yesterday. I think I scared him half to death.
How fast did you get it up to?
Well, just going through the gears, it's 4 speed. Well, it's got a fifth gear, but that's more of a road gear. So it's four in the floor, And its second gear, it throws you back. By the time you get in the fourth, you're probably running over 100, and you start to get, and it keeps pulling. You start to get what I call like tunnel vision. It's like your vision gets tighter and tighter down to one little circle where you can focus, and everything else is a blur. And the first time it happened to me, I thought I was going blind or something. It scared me to death. And but you're going so fast that and you're looking straight ahead, and it's weird. It'll do that to you. I don't know. Anything over 140, I've had it that fast. A little over 140.
It's funny you said that, because when I was young, I used to race dirt cars. I had a blast too. And then a friend of mine, fastest I've been on land is 185 miles an hour. That was on a motorcycle, by the way. That was a Kawasaki 1200 with a drive shaft, which I'll never do ever as long as I live. I was 26 at the time. That's just was ignorant. So, but it's not the fastest I've ever been. The fastest I've ever been is Mach 2.5. And yes, I used when I was in the Navy. So the Navy had a rule, the pilots had a rule, not the Navy. The pilots had a rule: if you worked on their jets, then you had to go up in it at least one time. So when we go out to Fallon, Nevada, so we go out to if they either picked you up somewhere and had to bring you out to the ship, or if we were at Fallon, Nevada for the bombing derbies, they would always make you come up in the planes with them. Yeah. So the first one I ever got to go in was an ACR Corsair 2. It was a piece of junk at 600 miles an hour. I felt like the whole thing was going to fall apart.
Oh my god!
And, but then I got to do an F-14 and an F-18. I was like, now we're getting serious. Man, they'd nail you back. You couldn't even move. You'd be like, God damn, okay, what's going on? I loved it. I loved it. I had a blast. And he said, well, you're not even worried. He said, well, I don't need to bring you no more. He said, obviously, whatever you're fixing, you're not even worried. I said, no, I'm having a ball. I said, no, look, it's breaking. Take me many times. But we had a lot of fun out there. But we worked. We'd be on 48 hours straight, no rest, no sleep, no nothing, and then 48 hours off. And we all had places at the Mustang Club. We all rented rooms there, and that's where we stayed. And if you don't know what that is, people, you don't need to know. That's all I can tell y'all. They had good food, and lots of booze, and lots of people. Let's leave it at that. How's that? Yes. I was
Sounds
young.
like a good time.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. And everybody was there. It wasn't just the enlisted or the officers. I was just getting transferred because I was enlisted when I went in, but the guy said I had too many talents to be enlisted, so they made me. They skipped me over instant and made me Lieutenant JG, and then after 2 years they made me full lieutenant. So I was happy. I mean, I got bumped up quick, and then I decided, you know what, it's time to get out of this place. They offered me all kind of money to stay too, because I had all kind of degrees from advanced avionics, advanced electronics. I took a couple leadership courses with them. I'm like, no, I don't want to be on a ship anymore. How's that? I said, you know what? Give me land duty, I'll stay. If you're going to put me back on a Nimitz floating around forever, nope, let's forget it. But man, I'm not kidding you. You'd go 9 months, you'd never even see land. You'd kind of start wondering if there was even land left on the planet. You're kind of like, what's going on? How can you sail around for 9 months and not even see land? I mean,
it's a weird feeling, I bet.
But I had a friend who was an artist who used to sit out there every day, and he would sit in the front. And he'd draw the water, he'd draw the ship, he'd draw the planes, he'd draw the people working. He was pretty good too. The Navy hired him for a while, but he decided to go out and go professional. I haven't seen him ever since he went professional. So hopefully he made it and is making some money somewhere and doing good. That's April's dragon. Isn't that a dragon, or am I just seeing things in my backwards?
Like behind me?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got dragons everywhere. But this is some of my very limited collection here. I might even just.
Well, if y'all having a hard time, people, look for the little square down in there. Boom! It'll all go big screen, and you can see all of our beautiful, lovely faces up close and personal.
I've got a lot of shit around me.
Oh Lord, look at you too. Okay, once you get to a certain point, it's not a collection.
Hey, Larry, show us your studio.
And then that's.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that's beautiful, Larry.
When I built
wow. I'm so jealous.
Before, my studio was
was
it's beautiful.
it was nothing. So when we built this house, it called for a 3-car garage. Well, we just built it. Look at it. And I already told the builder, I said, I want the garage finished off. And I told her how many lights I wanted, where they want them. And my wife didn't know it. And she said, and I got all these bookshelves built in here too. And she said,
Yep.
what are you doing? This is a garage. I said, I put a garage door on it. It's got stuff all over it. But anyway.
That's beautiful.
I said, this is going to be my studio. She said, well, what are we going to do with the cars? Park them outside. This is my studio.
Right.
That's how you got to do it. I took the master bedroom in this house and converted it into a studio.
Yeah.
My wife looked at me like, what are you doing? I said, the other bedroom's just as big. She said, no. I said, yeah. She said, no. I said, the other bedroom's got a bathroom. I said, technically it's and it's got the big 90-inch windows in it. This one's got two, they got 2 big windows in there, but not like the ones in the other ones. I got 2 massive windows in my house. It's ridiculous. Wait, where did this come from?
Nice.
See, this looks like a dragon. Where is? Oh, there it is.
So I sent Joe. I sent you a link for my website. Yeah, so that's that's a company that hires artists.
Yes, that's
which I'm a part of. But I sent you the website in the chat.
We can do that, and then oops, where did I go? And hey, get out of here, website. We don't want you anymore. We just dropped you. No, I didn't drop you. Okay, there we go. There we go. So let's pop back over here. I see we got a link somewhere, and there it is. Open new link. Pull this over there and get it off our screen right there. Get rid of this link up there. Yes, people, I talk to myself. As long as I don't start answering myself back, we are good to go. Yes. Oh, no, I think I had this one on the other one page opened up. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Where is present? There it is. There it is. And let me see if I got the right one. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Okay.
So I used Wix.com for this website, and it's a wonderful website because it's just a drag and drop. Just grab what you want, stick it in there, and then just create it.
I didn't even notice these damn snakes down here. I'd have been bit. Look at that, man. Some kind of hunter I am. Lord have mercy. It's
Are these different people's dragons, or are they all yours?
These are all mine.
Oh, wow.
Yes. You don't think she's going to have somebody else's dragons. She might have one of yours, but nobody else is getting up there. You can forget it.
Well, just had a bunch of people's dragons all together or something.
Oh, yeah, on that other, we want a different page. Let's see.
Just on her page.
And these are all traditionally painted, and I'm like Larry. I'll always, I
what
use
do you mean
digital.
Traditionally painted? Tell me, explain, because people are ignorant.
You paint with paint with a brush.
What's that old thing?
I knew what y'all were talking about. I just because the audience might be like, "What the
this?"
Because if they're millennials or Z-Geners, they might think it's computers or something. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Carol. Y'all aren't the biggest, brightest group on our planet right now. Give it a decade.
I use digital for the process of building up a good thumbnail or a composition, or transferring a drawing onto the board. But once it's transferred, it's all done by hand. It's all done with traditional oil or gouache or acrylics or colored pencil or watercolor. I love all the mediums. What's that?
I said, this ain't no damn dragon. I just want to see a dragon. Oh, now we see. Now the truth comes out.
She is.
See, now the truth is coming out now. Wait, let's go over here. Let's see. Quick view. Hey, where'd you go, quick view? Oh, there you are. Okay.
That's cool.
That was a piece I did for I forget the name, but it's a company that hires illustrators to do creatures for gaming, for tabletop games.
I was just thinking it looked familiar. That's why I clicked on it. It's
beautiful.
Don't know why, but it did.
Thank you. That was the oil painting that I did.
I love oil paintings. I'm spoiled.
Talk about using computers to get started. I like that. I like all your stuff.
It's good.
Thanks, Larry.
She's good.
Thank you.
She wouldn't be on here. She would. We'd be going, who are you? Get out of here, man.
Cool.
What do you mean, Denise? What are y'all talking about in the chat?
I like
oh, yeah. Okay, no. No, I'm funny about who we going on here. What was that, Larry? I'm sorry.
I said, I enjoy it.
Uh,
Like, I'm looking at this painting of yours. I really like that. I've done a lot of doodles and drawing stuff like this. I enjoy it. I was always afraid nobody would want them, you know, paint. So I never did really paint any. I just it'd be drawings and end up usually throw them away.
Yeah. Well, now that there's 8 billion of us, everybody wants something. Let's just be honest about it. 8 billion of us now.
You know, you're talking about doing your sketch on a computer. I can't draw with a computer. I don't want to, but it would save me a lot of paper. But I draw on tracing paper because I draw on the paper, then I flip another one over, you know, and I redraw it over and over again until I get it. And just keep tracing my first sketch, and just till I finally end up with a finished drawing on friggin' tracing paper. Okay, that's what I use for my painting, you know. So then I blow that up for the painting. But so I've been selling a lot of stuff the last 6 months on eBay because I found out in these big flat files I had hundreds of drawings. Some of them finished, some of them half finished, some of them 90% finished. And I thought, man, I didn't think these were worth anything. And a friend of mine said, start eBaying those. Well, I started eBaying them, and God bless. But I always make excuses. I'm sorry they're on tracing paper. I didn't trace. I traced my own drawing over and over. The last one the one I'm going to use, I would keep that one. The rest of them I'd throw away. And now I wish I'd kept them. Some of them was still pretty good. But you see the thought process, like overcorrect, lined up side by side. But yeah, those drawings I put on eBay, I thought I could get maybe $35 out of some of them. And they're going for $100. The average is around $1,500 or more. I sold 2 drawings.
There it is.
One pencil drawing. It was a Raceland. I found it in a notebook. Now the drawing in that book, and I thought, well, the books, the sketchbook is a little faded. It's old. I flipped to it, and there was a drawing of the character Raceland from Dragonlance, from his waist up, holding his staff. The only thing wasn't finished was just the ball on the end of his staff. And I thought, well, I can finish that in 15 minutes. I just finished that little staff, put it on eBay. I thought I might get $500 or $600 out of this. $9,500 for close that.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, Larry.
Somebody give me $9,000. People, damn, that's it. I'm fixing to kick all y'all off the air.
Oh, about the race. I said, no, that's cheating. I said, this was a real drawing I did. I said, I'm not going to sit here and draw dragons or something just to sell on eBay. I said, I've still got, I guess I've got 150, 200 drawings left rough. Some of them are finished, some are bad. But I'm slowly eBaying them. And it's, April, you went off.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No,
One second.
I love these snakes in this drawing right here. Where'd I go? I lost what I was looking at now. Let's go back over here. Oh, wait, let's go over
here. Here I am.
Let's go over here. Let's go. Behave yourself, computer. Let's not get crazy. Oh, it says fine art. Oh, wait, I like fine art.
I took the suggestion of Lazarus. He was suggesting that I divide my website into illustration and fine art. So
Good idea.
Took his suggestion and sent him the website, but I know he's very busy, so I don't know if he's seen it yet.
I'll ask you. I'm talking to him a couple. His books get ready to come out, so it'll be back here.
Wow.
It'll be back here pretty soon, along with Wolf's book. But
April,
yeah, he was just on 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, Larry. Go ahead, man.
What do you determine fine art and illustration?
So, okay, it's such a great question. I have that same question too, and so I went online and typed in illustration. Like, what's the difference between illustration and fine art? An illustration is something that someone does to promote or sell an idea or a product.
Yeah.
A fine art, and this is really funny. If you Google fine art, what's the definition? The definition is to make art for art's sake.
Okay. Yeah.
And I thought that was a fun definition.
Okay. I knew that's the basic definition. Because, yes, the painting I'm working on now is no different from others, but it's fine art because I'm doing it for myself.
Can we see it later?
I can go get it. I'm just still working on a background woods forest on it. I haven't got to the front part.
Oh, cool. Well, I want to see it.
Let me know when it's up. And bring it up here. I'll move the screen around. I'm just going through yours right now. If y'all see anything, these are all for sale. You can buy all of these. I'm just flipping through them as we're going along. And, whoops! No, man, I did it again. All throughout there. I couldn't figure out where the hell I was. I was like lost again.
Share.
If you ever need help with websites, I build and design. I have 36 of them up.
I'll try to do this. I gotta look at the screen to see where I'm pointing at.
Speaking of which, I'm glad you said that
Too much glare. I better put that back where it was at. There's so much glare though.
Oh, that's really cool, Larry.
And trees.
Oh, wow.
And then we got a.
Oh, that's so cool. Hey, where'd he go?
I know, where did you go? Hold on, Larry. I lost you. Somehow I got up in the front. What's going on here? There we go.
There we go.
So there's.
Oh, wow.
She's and weeds behind her.
Holy shit, Larry.
So,
that's awesome.
And these
Damn.
These are the sticks stacked up, okay?
Wow.
Gal,
so cool. So you drew it on, like you drew the drawing directly on the surface on Masonite. Now you're painting over the drawing or glazing over it?
Yes and no. I did
okay.
I used to do that. I would do the drawing, not on the Masonite, I did it on paper, and then I would transfer it down and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd usually end up on tracing paper, or I would, that's why I messed up a lot of the good drawings, because I would put lead on the back of the tracing paper, and then I've lost all you all. Can y'all see me?
Oh, do you see us? I see you.
I see him. Yeah, I see him just fine.
See you all. But anyway, I found a place in Nashville. It was a sign place, and they did signs. And I was down there, somebody told me about them, and I went over to see them. I don't know why I had to see them for, but I was watching them. They was printing from the computer, printing a sign on this humongous printer that was, I guess, the surface where you lay the artwork down is, or the paper or the board is going to be printed on, was probably 10 foot by 6 foot or 8 foot.
Good Lord.
Holy cow. And they can print that big, like banners. I said, can you print something on Masonite? They go, sure. So the next time I had my drawing all done, I scanned it in, put it on a thumb drive, took it to Nashville, and they printed on my Masonite. So that's like a day and a half of transferring all that stuff down.
Oh my God.
What's that, Jeffrey? No, we're not talking about that at night. Sorry. I wonder what happened. You just lost this day. I don't know what happened, but I see you. You got us. I mean, we see you.
I still can't see you guys.
Oh, really?
Look at the bottom. They got a button down there that says "Stop Cam." You might have hit it by accident. I do all the time. Wait. Oh no! Hit it back again. I hit it again.
There you go. Yay!
We're back.
All right, there we go. Yeah.
But, yeah. So once they transferred, and also right after that, well, the next thing I had to do, I was doing something for EverQuest, the video game back then, and it was a big. The painting covered my whole artboard, on my desk. I mean, I had the Masonite cut, and I said, "This is huge." And they bought the original and hung them up.
Wow! That was a 10 by 6 foot painting they bought.
It wasn't. No, it was about 5.5 foot long and about 3 foot tall, something like that.
Wow!
I thought
it's big.
I had the board cut, and I thought it's going to take me a week transferring this thing down. I had them all done on tracing paper. Where I drew all the parts. And I thought, you know what? I had all the trace paper scanned and the puzzle put together. You know what I was going. So, those the first two of those I did transfer all down. Took like 4 days to transfer the drawing on the Masonite, and then I took off to Nashville and they printed it on for me. It saved me 5 days, 4 days. And I just painted it, did the painting around the Masonite. It's your drawing on there,
That's wonderful.
And
wow,
that was great. Yeah,
that's so cool to skip a whole step like that.
Yeah.
They just do it for you.
We're gonna
That's
call
awesome.
this guy the Mardi Gras dragon.
The Mardi Gras dragon.
You got the Mardi
I
Gras
like
colors.
that.
You got purple, green, and gold. Hey, man, he's the Mardi Gras dragon now.
I like that name. I still have him. I was showing him at the Monsterpalooza show just a few 2 weekends ago now. I was at Monsterpalooza.
I tell you what you ought to think about. They do posters every year down here for Mardi Gras, and they're always looking for artists. Matter of fact, I think it's a little contest these days. And so Larry Hatch, who originally did them, he didn't do all of them, but he did about 8 or 10 years. He did the Devil and the Angel series. One of his original ones, beautiful painting. I was in the French Quarter walking around through all the, because it's just a shitload of old paint shop, old galleries down there, and they're all oil based. They got stuff hidden in corners, probably haven't moved in 10 years. So I'm going through it. I'm choking from the dust. I look over and I see this painting. It's about 6. It's taller than me, so it's about 6.5 foot tall, about 3.5 foot wide, and it's the original, the one they used to make the poster from. I was like, really? Wow. It's signed, the whole 9 yards. It says on the back what it was used for. Oh, it's got all the paperwork with it. I'm like, really? I said, how much you want? I think he's gonna want some outrageous price. He said $750. Actually, he said $1,250. I said $750. He said $750 it is. So I gave him $750 cash. I had a friend of mine come pick it up. And I said, I'm going to put it in the living room. And someone, my wife said, you ain't putting that nowhere in my damn house. I was like, but baby, it's an original. It's great. She said, it ain't going in my house. I was like, oh, okay. So I put it on auction. You don't even want to know what it sold for. You want to know what it sells. I'll tell you this. It was about 20 times what I paid for it.
Oh my God.
And at first the guy had passed, which I didn't know. And secondly, his work was highly sought after, all the original oils. Some guy was trying to hunt them all down and get all the original oils. He was so happy when he found that I had this one. I was like, well, it's yours now. Well, hello there. Wow. You want to come say hello to everyone? Come here. Well, come here. Oh, I gotta bring my dragon into the picture.
Oh,
she's my dragon.
Aww.
All right, there. Look, the dragon lady. Yeah, I will eat you.
So cute.
I will eat you. Tell him I eat dragons for lunch, man. Look at her. Oh yeah, give me some dragon. All right, that's enough of that. I love you. She's 2 years old and she is 6 pounds.
Cute.
She thinks she's a Rottweiler. Don't know what to tell.
What's her name? What's her name?
Lola. Yeah, Lola. She's bad. She's like a Lola.
Lola the dragon.
She's the black dragon. She's a bad one. I'm just telling you. The other ones around here somewhere. I'm surprised we haven't heard of. But I keep the other rooms locked off when we're doing the shows because James, we're gonna go. I got to give them 10 more minutes each, and then we're gonna get out of here because they were only supposed to be here for an hour, but we kept them way over with us. And I keep Larry all night and April. Not like that. Okay, now people with your menage with Don't put that over there. Y'all are just bad tonight. We got a bad audience tonight. And I bitch at them all the time. Why don't they come get in a regular chat room because it aggravates me? What do you got? Questions. Okay, this one's for April. What about it? Oh, okay. I'll ask. Well, I'll give them both the same question because it's a good question. So April and Larry, they all want to know basically what was the thing that made you think well, first off, they want to know what it was that made you get out there and take the chance of being an artist, but what really was it that made you think that you could do this? Because it's a little bit egotistical. So,
it's been my, like if I could go in there and be very, very open and honest and very raw about it. It's the only wish that is in my deepest heart of hearts is to pursue this path, no matter how difficult it is, or of course you're going to get these moments of bliss along the way, but like when you have a dream, and I'm really just making it super small when I say the word dream, like it's more than a dream. It's my life purpose, and I know Larry understands everything that I'm saying right now. There's nothing else I'd want to do more in this lifetime than create art and be around artists and be a creator, and there's nothing else. So this really isn't just about it'll be great when I can support myself finally with my art, but this is it for me. I've got no plan B. This is it for me, and I think Larry can agree with me on that, but I'd love to hear Larry's answer to that question as well.
100%. I agree with you totally. I always tell my wife, I'm 74 years old, I said, if I got sick and died, or if I got sick and couldn't paint anymore, I said, I'm gone. I have no
Mm,
desire to live. I mean, love my wife, I love my kids, my grandkids. But for me personally, that's what's kept me going my whole life.
mm.
Going back what I said before, sort of jokingly, but I'm still trying to get one right. You know, never stop. You're obsessed with it. It's the only thing I can do very good at all. And I was born with it. I remember I was maybe 3 years old, and we didn't have money. We was poor. My dad got tuberculosis after World War II, and back then it was a killer. But he would be gone in the hospital to stay for like 6 months or a year, and it's just mom and myself living out in the country. At that time, this was like 1950, and in the country with no electricity, no running water. Mom would hold me in her lap. I remember it and read me stories under lamplight, kerosene
Mm.
lamp, and I would draw on the table. We Our brother would come in to get groceries, and there'd be a.
Mm.
He'd come back with about once a month. He'd come back with a box and 4 bags. Those old brown grocery bags. Well, Mom would cut the bags up flat and lay them on the table and set a lamp in there, or kerosene lamp, and I would draw on those all 4 bags, every inch of them. I draw stuff, and then I would draw on the box, every inch of the outside. And she would cut it up and make a little house out of the garage, make windows and doors. I mean, she'd make a garage and I'd put my little cars in. It'd be about time to get groceries again, so the cycle started again. But one of my
So cool.
memories, we rented this little 2-bedroom house. I'd go back in the house. He was gone. He spent most of his time in the hospital the first 10 years of my life. But he finally beat it and lived to be 94 years old. But I remember we moved this little 2-room house and they just painted it. And I walked in there and uh, I was probably about 3. And I had a pencil and there was that big white wall. And I drew a car on that wall. Mom caught me about halfway through. And she rubbed the wall, throwing my drawing off. That was a car I never drawn in my life. I never forget. It looked like they were perfectly round. I'm sure they were sitting away. But they looked like, and that just killed me, man. I told Mom, I said, that's my best. You don't draw on the wall, but it was perfect. And
Oh,
Going damn well.
but I
it's my magnum opus.
I drew my whole. I got in the first grade, 1-room country school, 1 through 8th grade. Teacher was a big woman, and she had not a switch but a pole, and I saw her break that big old long stick over a kid's 8th grader's back. Boys, old country boys, to get back. I mean, we sit there, you couldn't hear a pin drop all day long. You only spoke if you spoke. So this is the first time I had a tablet. I had a real tablet, all mine. So she teach the first graders for about 30 minutes in the morning, maybe not that long. You just have to go through all these grades. So we was left there just sitting at our desk doing nothing. You couldn't make a sound. So
Hmm.
I have a whole tablet. So I started drawing with cars, girls, and I was 5 years old. I was trying to draw naked women every day. and and one day, about the second week of school, she said, everybody got a new piece of paper. She come back to first graders again in the evening. And I looked and I drawn my whole tablet up. And I'm like, raised my hand. She said, what? I said, I don't have any clean pages. She said, that's a new tablet. She got up and grabbed my tablet. And got to the next. So she kept my tablet, went to her desk, wrote a note, so we give it to my mom and dad. My dad was home at the time. He's out of the hospital then. And I give him the note. I didn't know what it said. I couldn't read yet. So they was at the kitchen table reading the note, and everyone's probably both look at me. And so Dad took me to school the next day and went in and talked to the teacher. Well, she waited till all the class was set down because you're a pin drop. She pulls my tablet out of the drawer, sitting in her chair at her desk. She said, Dad's standing looking over his shoulder, and they start going through my tablet. Every once in a while, they both stop and look at me. And I was over there curled up in a ball.
Oh gosh.
And so, Mom does some kind of wacko. But hey, I love women as long as I can remember. Drawing cars and drawing women, drawing horses and stuff. And but then I didn't draw another girl. And Mom got worried about me till I was 9 years old. I was afraid to draw girls because maybe I want to draw them sexy girls. I was too young. And I remember I was at Grandma's house back then. She had chickens. They were farmers. And big shade trees in the front yard. And under the shade trees, the chickens would hang out there. In the summertime, it was cool. Well, all the grass was wore off. It was just the dirt. It was packed hard as a rock. And I was out there where it was cool, and I saw an old rusty nail. Picked up I could draw in that dirt. So I drew a car. I think I drew a horse. And I drew a naked girl. Wiped it all off. I was like, it's like a horse. But you couldn't redraw in the same spot. I bet I drew up an acre of ground that day. And back in drawing females again. I think Mom was relieved. Like, well, he's a normal kid. He's drawing girls again.
He's on loose again. Wait, hold on. Let me put this up there because other people have been asking to see it. Whoops, let me get my fingers where y'all can actually see it. And my finger's not on there. Well, that looks familiar. I think I've seen that at Writers of the Future. Let's get the crazy guy out of there.
Do you want to see the original painting?
Yeah, put it up there. Or send it over
All right, one second.
There you go. Okay. This goes with a story, people. Yes. All the artwork in here goes with these different stories that are going throughout the book. This is my own personal. I had 2 personal copies. They're all autographed. They have multiple different types of autographs on them. These 2 have special autographs in them, so y'all never getting your fingers on them. See, they send me stuff like that. See back here. I don't know if you can see. This is the poster. That's one of the originals from Earth Final Conflict. It's one of the ones I use. I think it's.
I remember.
Yeah, it's 86. It's 76. It's signed. Number the whole 9 yards. So every time people see it back, that's why you don't see it as much. Oh, when you're auctioning it off, you're going to give it away this Christmas. I'm like, no, it's my photo. It stayed back there. And the one right next to it, that's a paddle wheeler sinking in the swamp. People are always trying to get it from me. And I'm like, no, it's my picture. Stay off on people. And then people love the Streetcar Desire over there. But usually they're like this, but they can't see him anymore because they want him too much. It's see, and I put everybody, just so y'all both know this. If you get stuff new and you're out trying to sell it, send me a copy. Now, and just like we do with the books, we'll put it back there because we post artwork on the walls. We post them over there. My whole studio has got artwork throughout the whole damn thing. So I post them in here because some of my friends are doing art. I met quite a few people with y'all now, Writers of the Future, that I want to help out. So I tell them, send me something, I'll put it up there. People can see it. You don't need a lag because you're gonna be a millionaire anyway. But for the youngins, they can need the youngins. But for the artists, anybody can use help. I know what it's like to be starving in the field. I think April fell asleep or something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm showing you the original painting.
We can't see you froze.
This is the original.
Wait, but you're froze.
Am I frozen?
Yeah,
am I frozen?
Yeah, you frozen. Oh, we can. Now you're not frozen. Wait.
There you go. You're back.
Am I here? Okay. Now I was showing you the original painting.
So
you can see how big it is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put you on big screen so we can see you. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there you go.
Looks good.
So this is the original painting. It's on masonite board.
Yeah.
And it's approximately 3 by 4 feet.
Okay, now I know what masonite board is because I use it in construction, but I don't know if all of our listeners will know what we're talking about here.
So masonite board, it's a material you can buy at the hardware store. They call it art board at the art store, and that's where they upcharge it like 5 times more. Mm-hmm. But you can buy it at a hardware store, and it's a really thin pressed board, and I paint on it all the time.
And some of it has a fuzzy side, like a rough side.
Yeah.
But they always has at least one slick side, and that's so hard to stretch in canvas. I hated it, and so I started painting. You can just saw it to the size you want, just sew it, and start painting. It saves.
Great dragon.
Every time I stretch the canvas,
The girl looks like she's like, yeah, man. Am I high or is this a dragon? No, Jack.
That is one
No,
way to see him. Yeah. But,
no, actually, I loved it. So actually, yours and what's her name's the one with the picture in the cities. One of them two I thought was going to win. I never picked a winner, by the way. So if I ever tell you I think you're going to win, just know you're probably not going to win. But I picked yours and hers.
I'm really happy with who. I forget his name, but I'm really glad that he won. His painting was unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
everyone did such an amazing job.
Mr. Obi-Wan tax collector, yeah, that's why. Oh, hold on, let me show y'all guys. I might as well show y'all what we're talking about. It's right next to hers anyway. It's let me go find him in this book. God damn, how many things y'all got up in this damn book, people? There he is. So you'd have to know the story to know what this particular picture is. But if you notice, you see the guy with the sickle behind him, and you see with the cloak on him and all. I said, so it was a Grim Reaper and the tax collector. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know what it is. So you should get the book, guys and girls. You can get it over at galaxypress.com. It's pretty good. See, that's a good page right here. You don't want to look at all of that there. So we'll put the book back there. You can see. The guy, Tom Wood, we were talking about that's his artwork you see on the cover. You never know. We might see April's next year. We might see Larry's next year. You never know whose artwork's going to be up there.
A really great job.
Yeah, he did a good job. And but I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty good dragons tonight. He might have some competition, man. I'm just saying.
I don't know about that.
He might have some. See, I can say that. Get away with it. You get in trouble. No, because she's one of the winners. They might frown on it. Me, they just ignore. They're like chosen nuts anyway. But we're gonna get out of here in just a couple of seconds. Larry, tell them where they can find you, where they can get your work at, anything they need to know about you.
LarryElmore.com.
There you go, Larry. See, he does it easy, people. LarryElmore.com. That's easy.
I got in early.
Yeah. Well, no, you got you. Yeah, there you go.
Well, and Larry, you said you got another Kickstarter project you're going to work on soon, right?
Let me think a minute. Yes, the big book. We're working on it. We're hoping to get ready to kickstart it in the next couple of months. I've got it laid out. It took me like 3 weeks to lay the whole thing out. Now I've got to do a little bit of writing for it. There's not going to be a lot of text, but it's all color and black and white. There's hardly any text. It's all art.
Tell a story with art. I can go for that.
It's about 270 pages, probably.
Yes, I can go for a story with art. You know, I used to keep
hardback.
I used to keep art books on our tables, just different stuff, and and I've been a photographer since 4-H. I took like 8 years of it in school. And so we always have some type of something on our tables, or some type of artwork, something. And we buy, and I can't show you because I'm not in the front. But if you were in the front of my house, you'd notice everything on my walls is canvas. It's all oil work, everything up there. It's random stuff. Some of it's flowers because somebody in the family likes flowers. Not going to mention any names, Linda. Somebody likes flowers, but I like it. And they're not little. They're like I like a picture that makes a statement. Not I don't want to have to get up there and go, what is that? What's I want to be able to see the damn thing. And the older I get, I want to see it even more. So, April, tell them where they can find you at.
Very simple. AprilSolomonArt.com. I try to keep it simple too. I kept my name. Kept my name, and you can find me in all the social media platforms, Twitter. Instagram, ArtStation, just April Solomon. And that's how you find me.
You go to the websites if you want to email them. There's an email on their website. You can email them from there and find it. What are you talking about? Nobody's giving out no phone numbers. What are you smoking something tonight?
Drew Struzan used to have his phone number on his website.
Well, actually, mine are out there, but I'm dumb. I tell people all the time when people ask me, should I put mine? I'm like, nope. They're like, why? I said, because if you even get a little bit famous, you're gonna have to change it.
Well, just lately, for the last few years, I was always somebody called me up or they said, "Can we come over to the studio?" Sure. And it started getting worse and worse. My wife started raising hell.
Mm-hmm.
She walked in my studio and there's 5 people in here. It's like, what the hell? And
Yeah, that's how the studio in New Orleans was. See, here it's different.
the state's over, you know. And
Yeah.
and the older I get, the more forgetful. I mean, they contact me and I didn't write it down. Or I'd write it down maybe just on my board someplace so I remember they're coming. I'd forget to tell my wife. And then there's these people show up and she's like, what's going on? Who's this?
Who's this? What are they doing to my house? You know, what are you doing? Because when the studio was in New Orleans full time, it was ridiculous. People just stop by, random people would stop by, people looking for shows, friends would stop by. All the equipment's running. There's all kind of noise going on because the studio station's going. Because I used to always keep a speaker in the background so I could know what was going on. This setup is different, so I don't have to do that. Plus, we have a station manager again, so Michelle DeRoche handles all the hard stuff these days. She handles the egos. God bless her. Is all I can say. Well, I did it in the early days, and since then she's our 3rd station manager over 25 years, and she's good. And she's very famous on TV. She's got a lot of TV credits to herself, but she no play. She likes to tell you, do it like this, do it like this, do it like that. No, do it like that. Yeah, don't let the proverbial door hit you in the ass. And that's why she's here, because I need somebody. Everybody says I'm too nice as I've gotten old. Matter of fact, I've had people write to me and say, we'd like to see the old Joe back on your news show. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, the mean one? I'm like, what mean one? You know, the mean one? So I've never been mean. They're like, Joe, would you like me to come play an archive for you? And I can, don't get me wrong. I can be mean when I want to be. But a lot of this I try to stay away from because there's too much hatred in politics as it is. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, I try to be, wherever I can be positive, I try to be positive. And I have a rule on all of my radio shows that I host. We always end on a positive note. It's good for people to know that, you know, yes, the world's a pain in the ass, but you know what? There's still some good shit in here. If you don't believe me, go look at Larry and April's work, and you'll have a smile on your face when you're done. Well, it's just to say there is good stuff on our planet. There's good people, fun people, happy people. If I was to listen to news, I think everybody was a miserable bastard. If I was just to do radio, I think everybody was happy beyond belief. So I'm looking for that middle ground somewhere. But guys, y'all are both fabulous. I can't wait to have y'all back on in the future. Larry, you're always fabulous. Always great to talk to. Guys, we could do a show just on Larry's stories. Nothing to do with artwork, just stories. It'd take him out. It might take him a couple of days, man. The man is great. I love listening to him. He's got a good voice. He's got a lot of stuff. He's a lot of fun. I don't feel any hatred coming off him, which is so nice in radio today. April's the same way. She's fabulous. And she's just a baby now, you know. I'm just kidding. I don't like calling 40-year-olds babies. They get mad at me when I do that.
You're fine. You're fine. I grew up in the 80s. I'm fine. You're good.
She's still kind of feral. Okay, that's what that means. So if you're at the top of the millennials or an X-Gen or see the top of the millennials are the last feral generation. What I mean by that, they still had to go outside and play. No, go outside.
Yeah.
No, go outside. No, go out. No, wait, what did I tell you? Go outside. And sometimes you might not see your kids till 10 o'clock at night. And you're like, oh. And then here they come walking in the house. That's how it was when I was growing up. It's not that way now. My son's a millennial, and he spent about half his time in the house and about half his time out the house. And because I should have never bought him a PlayStation. That was.
I'm like you. I spent probably 90% of my.
I did. My mom was furious. She said, if it's not dark, don't come in the house. I was like, Mom. She's like, nope.
We knew in the summertime you could stay because it got dark later. You could stay till outside till it got dark, which was around 9 o'clock. I mean, we knew we should be home by about 9.
Yes.
And about dark. You had to get home and eat supper, not dinner. We had to get home and eat supper.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, Dad would get mad. Didn't want Dad mad at us.
Yes. Well, I never wanted nobody looking for me, so I always tried to be home when I was supposed to be. But because Dad, I wasn't worried about. Dad was cool. Mom would have lost her freaking mind now. Where were you? You know, it's like 2 hours late. Wait, what? You can't read? You can't count? You know, I do send you to private school, boy. What's wrong with you? I can hear her now, man. Oh my God. But y'all be sure to go check out both their artwork. They're great. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of April's stuff coming out in the future and Larry's. I both of them. I love that picture, by the way. Both of y'all had up, by the way. Well, the one April just had up is in the book. So y'all can buy Writers of the Future. You can get it. Or you can probably just get a copy of it from her if you just want the picture. Larry's got stuff
which I have.
Yes, see, and which she has. So there you go.
And I have the original. Yeah. So if you want the original,
there you go. Make an offer.
Come talk to me.
Don't be cheesy. Make a real offer, people.
quick.
The girl has real talent. She ain't no wannabe. She got real talent.
You got things sitting there.
Wait.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a beauty.
And now I don't have to print all my prints at one time. I've had a big Epson like that for about the last 5 years. And
It's the way to do it.
we take the orders in. My wife, now that she's retired, she does all the printing and shipping. So we just do
What printer is that, Larry? Is that a Canon or
Epson
Epson? Okay.
P6000.
That's a beauty.
Yeah.
It's right now, I think it's one of the bigger home ones they make. Epson P6000. It does beautiful work.
As long as they do good. Well, there you go, guys. Y'all can get all their stuff. You know where to find them at. You go see to check them out. No, poor April cannot submit again. She can submit for the authors next year, but not for the illustrators. No. Yes, that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Well, no, we instead of one both.
April, good seeing you again.
Really good seeing you too, Larry. I really hope I get to see you again sometime in the near future.
Oh, wait. Somebody said I need to do my own Dragon Con, bring the 4 best dragon people in. Well, I got 2 of them right here. I'll tell y'all what I'll do. Okay, because we got Dragon in April right here. I'm calling you Dragon, man. Jesus.
I like that.
We got Larry and April right here. Y'all send me 2 other really great dragon artists. I mean, great. I don't mean no bullshit because I got 2 really good ones here. And I said maybe I'll consider doing just a dragon show where we only.
Well, I got some names for you if you want to hear some.
Send them to my email because I'll forget them if you tell me now. Everybody, ICAR at Cox.net. Oh, by the way, Janak and everybody else, UPN Talk Radio, the new website is up. Finally, they straightened out their errors. They'll be getting updated for the next 5 days because a lot of other shit going on at the Host Cut Assembly. But once it's up, it's up. By the way, I will feature y'all sometime this week, and both of y'all will be up on the website. So.
That'd be awesome.
Probably Saturday, because right now I'm working like people. By the way, I thought slavery was over with. I'm just saying because I'm being worked like a damn slave right now. And no, Gene, I do own my own business, but let me explain to you about owning your own business. All owning your own business means is you're gonna work more. That's all it means. Yes, you get more money. I ain't gonna lie, you get more of your money, but all it means is you're gonna work more. No, because nobody's doing it for you. You got to do it all.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Off all you want to, but you'll starve.
Yes, that's true. That's true. No, I was lucky. My talent was never authors or I don't know. We'll see. I'm writing something right now, but no artists. I never had any skills like that. Really, if I look up and get a book written, it'll be phenomenal anyway because it'll just be a thing. This is my revenge on Emily. Y'all don't know this. Shh, that's what this is. Emily's been bugging me for 3 years to write a book. So I said, okay, when I finish, it's all going on a vanilla envelope. I'm going to print the whole damn thing out, and I'm sending it to Emily. Yes, Emily Goodwin. No, I love Emily. Y'all don't take that the wrong way. I really do. She's an insane, working, hard woman. Yes, but everybody, be sure to submit to writersofthefuture.com. It's the only way you can get to meet any of these lovely people because I foresee April in the future being a judge or doing something else. I have psycho abilities. What can I tell you? And they're always looking for good people. The Writers of the Future is always looking. Writers and Illustrators Future is always looking for good people. And if you want to hear us talk about these two with them not being here, go listen to Echo Chernick and I last week, and you'll hear what we were saying when they weren't actually, which is all good, by the way, but still. It's very flattering, actually. Y'all should go listen. Y'all might get swole heads. Fuck everybody else. Y'all can go listen. Guys and girls, we got to get out of here. We're already run over an hour into Michelle's show. Thank God we're not overlapping like the old days because she would have took a gun to all 3 of us. On that note, good night and stay tuned, or I should say, join the outer realm. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Joe. Bye, Larry.